Hey, crypto family, hope y'all are doing good today. So we did have a pretty big drop in the market that wiped out most of the altcoins and BTC. A few altcoins did hold up pretty well, but I'm going to show you some indicators that actually were showing that this drop was going to happen, and then a couple technicals as well to show you how you could have protected yourself against this drop. So with that, let's go ahead and get started. So first, again, all the coins are mostly red today. Dogecoin held up pretty good. Again, the meme coin, it's been doing very well the past couple of days. And then Solana is actually one of the altcoins in the green today. A big reason I believe that Solana is in the green is because the FTX exchange handled this drop very well. There wasn't any liquidity issues, any stop loss issues, and any issues that customers did have. FTX refunded them in USD. So again, they handled it really well, whereas Binance has had some problems. So I think Solana, FTT, I think that's one as well that'll be good long-term holds. But first, let's go ahead and go over some indicators that actually showed you that this drop was about to happen. So if you go on Twitter, there's this guy, Charles Edwards. His hashtag is at CaprioLeo. And basically, he announced at earlier in the day, actually, 12:23 p.m. on April 17th, he said the Bitcoin hash rate is down 40% today as a result of the Xinjiang blackout. One province in China represents a significant share of the Bitcoin network. So you see here, if a blackout happens, I mean, you know how many miners are in China right now? They control the majority of mining for Bitcoin. And you can see here that the hash rate dropped. Now, why is this significant? Well, I'm going to tell you why. Because the hash rate is very closely linked to the price of Bitcoin. They're very closely correlated. And I'm actually going to cover another tweet by a guy named Willy Woo that outlines this. So again, this was at 12:23 p.m. And really quick, just looking at Bitcoin right here, I drew this line on the hour chart, and that would have predicted this drop at about 60,700 before this huge drop happened here. So looking at Willy Woo's tweet here, he said price and hash rate has always been correlated. This is BTC price versus today's hash rate collapse from the Xinjiang blackout. So you can see here that here's where Bitcoin is, here's where the price is, and then the hash rate drop happened, and then you can see the price dropped as well. Now then the next picture says, for those who remember, the hash rate collapse of November 2017. So you can see same thing here, but look at that, how fast the hash rate bounced back, literally the same day. And then you can see price started to steadily increase into the rest of the month. And then finally, he says, for those who remember the hash rate, and he says, latest hash rate data by Glassnode 6 hour already nearly fully recovered. So you can see here that that hash rate did drop, but look how much it bounced back. And then looking at the November 2017 history, how much price continued to move to the upside. So basically he's saying that we're going to continue moving to the upside from here. So again, looking at this Bitcoin chart here, you can see that, again, that hourly chart, whenever Charles Edwards posted about the hash rate collapsing, again, you still had about 3 to 4, actually about 5 to 6 hours to really get in here before this huge drop happened. Now, let's go over some TA and exactly what also could have helped you predict this drop. So I drew a couple trend lines here on the 4 hour and using Heikin-Ashi candles. I can see this trend line here. It's all the way from March 5th, and you can see it bounced here. And then right now, if you just would have continued following it, that's where we bounced right now. Now I also drew this trend line, the most recent trend line here, that it bounced once, twice, 3 times here. Then this 4th time, it actually broke down. Now it didn't just break this trend line, it also broke this support level, which is very important because then you couldn't break above that support level, turn resistance now, and you broke this trend line. So it's like a double whammy. So you can see this huge drop that it had, over $2,000 drop here. And then look, we went to retest this resistance level here, couldn't break above it. And now you have this trend line here to the downside. You can see it resisted, and it came up to here again. Now it's having to face that trend line resistance and horizontal resistance, which is even stronger. And then from there, boom, it rejected. So at this time, you could have seen that, hey, this is very bearish. MACD is pointing to the downside. RSI is declining. You have the money flow declining. And then on the VP extractor, volume and price, again, declining. So all these things combined saying, you know, maybe it may be time to get out of Bitcoin right now, put some stuff into cash. So with that came the announcement of the hash rate, and then boom, everything collapsed. Now, right now we had this diagonal support with this horizontal support. Hence, we had a nice little bounce here. But again, you know, Bitcoin went all the way to a low of 54,600, has since bounced and is around 56,500 now. So hopefully we can maintain this trend line here. If we can, again, looking for it to bounce, retest this resistance of 59,800 to that 60,000 level. And then from there, we have this diagonal trend line resistance to break at about 60,100. And then from there, retesting that 62.5. So there's things to keep in mind here. But this VP extractor did predict this drop. You saw these two red alarms here. You saw RSI was huge. It was above 80. So that was your indication right there that, hey, I think we may be due for a correction, and lo and behold, that's exactly whenever we started turning to the downside. So again, this VP extractor did pretty good. It's by a guy named CryptoScripts, so he's been doing pretty good. I've been using some of his indicators, but yeah, extra stuff to help you out there. Then looking at Ethereum here. So Ethereum, again, same thing. 4 hour, I drew this diagonal resistance, and then I look how much this diagonal support is. Bounced 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it broke through this resistance or support at 2260, and then look how much it dropped. It literally dropped through two support levels all the way down to a low of 1909. So that's more than a $3,000 drop from when it broke this trend line here. You can see this was a very, very strong trend line. Now from then, we've actually rebounded to 2190. But again, we still have to claim above this resistance, this trend line resistance here, which right now is at about $2,300. And if we continue, you can see this intersection here is about 2350. So this is going to be a very strong resistance if we do get up here. So keep in mind, possibly taking profits here, or just monitoring if it will break above it, then we may continue this uptrend here and then have this resistance at 2475. So again, something to keep in mind there. And if we continue to consolidate here, just watching these levels. And then last but not least, Solana. So I mentioned Solana was a very strong performer. Look how much it bounced. So you can see it broke through this trend line that it had, and it went all the way down to a low of $21. And then from there, it actually bounced really hard from this horizontal support at 2250, broke through this resistance at $25, and then broke through this resistance at 2710. Now, right now we do have this horizontal resistance and this diagonal resistance. So again, it's when you're going to need to get up above this level of 2765. A lot of resistance here. If we can get above that, then again, looking to reclaim near these all-time highs of 2870, and then it's off to the races from there. But right now in the 4 hour, you have the MACD curving to the upside, RSI again curving way up. You have the MFI Pro, giving a buy signal here, curving to the upside, and then the VP and extractor is also curving to the upside as well. So you have all these indicators curving to the upside. I think it's very, very bullish here for Solana. If we can break through this resistance, I definitely think, we'll be on our way to that $50 mark, my midterm target. So definitely bullish on Solana. Again, really Solana FTT token, and then a couple others on the FTX exchange. Also bullish on, Litecoin, Chainlink, the big ones. I think it'll behoove you to hold those coins. Again, all the main coins, you can see there are periods when all these main coins actually pumped. And then the small cap and the medium cap ones were really, kind of staying stable or declining. So it's always good to hold, a plethora of top 100 coins, as well as, a couple low caps to medium caps, so you can capitalize whatever market is pumping for that day. So with that, if y'all enjoyed this video, please give it a like. If y'all have any questions about the indicators I used or any articles or tweets I mentioned in this video, please comment below. I'll be happy to answer them. And until next time, thanks for watching.